Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler, powered by Coolbet Canada.
Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome back inside the Lock Shop. Nielson and Hus back with you once again. If you have not yet followed our YouTube channel, make sure you do. We're 5 followers away from 600, and when we hit 1,000, we're going to give away $1,000 cash to one of you. So tell your friends about Lock Shop on YouTube, just at Lock Shop Bets over there. As always, Lock Shop brought to you by our wonderful partners at Coolbet. Sign up for an account today. Use the code Lock Shop. They got a bunch of exclusives over there. We're going to talk some golf exclusives with Patty tomorrow. He's going to pop into the Lock Shop. But Hus, nice little weekend for any of our fellow Lock Shoppers out there.
There were some happy Lock Shoppers, without a doubt. Kind of hammering the golf and the curling. First off, very well done, Chris Kirk.
Yeah, first win in 8 years.
That was a hell of a pick. What was that? 28-1.
It was 28-1, I think, is what we got. I saw some people get it at 31, but at 28-1 is where I had it. So. Yeah.
Hey, listen, we will take it. It's been a weird year. I mean, there's been so many big favorites winning so far. This was a tournament we had to have, and we got it. Great pick. And listen, the daily bets of the Scotties was so for me, but we came through with the big pick from the preview show, the Canada-Manitoba final, Einerson versus Jones, plus 1125. So that came in, and of course, hit with Carey, making it 4 in a row. So it was great. By the way, didn't you run the table in the XFL?
I did.
Too?
I did, actually. I went 3-0 in the XFL this weekend.
Nielson.
I knew the under was going to hit in that Saturday game when I saw a kicker slip as he was trying to kick a field goal or whatever it was. It was like 6-3 at the time. I was like, oh, okay. Weather aided under. I'll take it. And then I got both games on Sunday as well. So I'm unbeaten in the. Oh no, I guess on Thursday I was wrong. So I'm 3-1 in the XFL so far this year, Hus.
Heck of a week. Well, yeah. We got one more week. I think one more week, and I'll feel very confident about our XFL wagers. It did not go my way. Well, as I said, I went head to head with you on 2 of them. Obviously, you went perfect, so you can figure out that the XFL wasn't a highlight of my weekend. But tell you what, we got a big golf show tomorrow, and Pat Gregoire is going to come on. Pat, it's perfect to get Pat on with us on Wednesdays because he has been cranking out some awesome golf exclusives, and I'm looking forward to getting his take on the Arnold Palmer. We'll make our picks, maybe even fire up a little Lock Shop exclusive into the exclusive for tomorrow, heading into Thursday. But tonight and Thursday, big nights in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, exactly. Huge night in the National Hockey League. And actually, we've come from this euphoric stage of sweeping the XFL, and we get the golf winner, and you hit that Scotties final, and then crashing back down to reality today, Hus, as the Edmonton Oilers dabbled and dove into the NHL trade deadline madness, trading a guy that I have supported since the moment they drafted him, and Jesse Puljujarvi finally gets set free. And what a landing spot for this guy. He gets to go to arguably the second best team in the National Hockey League, where one of his best friends is. There's a bunch of young Finnish players there. This is the ideal landing spot for Jesse Puljujarvi. The Oilers get back another Finn. I feel bad for that guy if he ever comes overseas. But he's going to they free up the cap space, right? They free up the cap space, $3 million to work with. Probably would allow them to actually carry a full roster if they wanted. They still want to try to acquire a defenseman as well. So great landing spot for him, though. I'm happy to see him end up in Carolina and not Arizona. It's a pretty ideal spot.
Listen, I'm out of the market, but I'm always listening to your show and obviously connecting with a lot of people through the Lock Shop in Edmonton. The entire Jesse Puljujarvi saga is bizarre to me. It seemed like he was such a polarizing player for a guy that seemed to be like a fun dude, a good teammate. I mean, he might not have been what they expected when they picked him that high in the draft, but certainly a guy that I think can help hockey teams win games. And tell you what, Carolina knows what they're doing. So you're right. This is a great landing spot for him. And I hope that cap space is worth it, because the return in the actual trade is not something that you would normally expect when you're trading a 4th overall selection in the NHL draft.
We've got Ref WWE says, I'll help you pack for Carolina, Dusty. I also, somebody came at me for my tweet today. I said, he lands on a better team. Somebody's like, salty, hey? I said, no, Carolina is just clearly a better team than the Edmonton Oilers. Like, they're the second best team in the National Hockey League. Statistically, he's landed on a better team. So I think people just want to see him like fail his way out of the league. And instead, he gets a chance on a pretty good team to possibly win a championship this year. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, and we're going to get into this. The East. Whew. I was kind of making that varsity JV joke a few weeks ago about the two conferences in the NHL. It's legit right now. I mean, there is the East, and then there is the West right now. And listen, for a team that's struggling with the Winnipeg Jets, they're just lucky that they're in the West right now because there is so much firepower in the East. And, man, we're seeing Detroit and Buffalo's on a big run right now. Ottawa feels they're into it after their big game. And we'll get to that in a minute. Huge game, the second of back-to-back nights between Ottawa and Detroit as they had to play that makeup game yesterday. But we've got and you're actually on this Kings-Winnipeg game right off the bat. And I guess that would be more in the if it ain't broke, don't fix it category. Jets unders continue to pay off every night, unfortunately.
Well, that's what I'm doing here. I mean, these numbers. So this is adjusted because the line was at 5.5. I think it moved to 6. So I just bumped it up to 6.5, and you get it at minus 136, as opposed to this Islanders Minnesota game, which is at 5.5, and I'm moving that up to 6.5 as well, and hitting that at minus 213. So the Winnipeg LA game minus 136. That's a game I'd play on its own. Minnesota and the Islanders, I probably wouldn't play it at minus 213, but I really like adjusting these totals up in these games I'm expecting to be low scoring for parlay purposes, and that's what we're doing here. Minnesota has hit the under, I think, in 9 of 10. The Islanders have hit it 3 in a row and had a push before that. So I'm bumping that number up to 6.5. I'm going to take the under there. And then Hus, the Winnipeg Jets are on this insane run of unders right now. Los Angeles Kings have been a little hit and miss in that category. But once again, I'm buying it up to 6.5 at minus 136. And then I'm going to get on Buffalo in regulation tonight against Columbus. Big game for Buffalo, obviously, considering they've got themselves right back into the thick of this playoff race in the East. Take them in regulation tonight against the Blue Jackets. That'll get you minus 122, which is a pretty good number you can play on your own as well if you like the Sabres tonight. Parlay it all together, and it's a pretty comfortable plus 364, which I really like this evening. So that would be how I lay out my 3 picks. I know people in Winnipeg must be being like, there's an over coming at some point here. Do you think this is the night, Hus?
Nito Niederreiter hat trick in his debut for the Jets tonight. I mean, maybe he can do it. I don't know. We're hearing that Pierre-Luc Dubois didn't skate this morning and is a game time decision. Listen, he hasn't been very good lately. No one has, but that would be a big hole in the lineup because outside of Mark Scheifele and Pierre-Luc Dubois, the Winnipeg Jets have had absolutely no scoring at center. Adam Lowry's in, would have to be his career-long scoring slump. I think it's 32 games now without a goal. So yeah, a lot of hopes for Nito Niederreiter to turn this thing around. The Jets had a spirited practice yesterday. They looked brutal though in those first 2 games of this homestand. They got to get this one tonight. And then of course, we've got a huge weekend between the Oilers and Jets playing back-to-back nights, Friday in Edmonton and Saturday right here in Winnipeg. And we'll get all over that on Thursday's show. My picks for tonight, I'm going to start off with this Detroit Ottawa game. And, interesting, this number has moved quite a bit right now. The Red Wings are now plus 108 underdogs, and the Ottawa Senators have moved to minus 127. Ottawa had a huge second period yesterday to bounce back and get that win. Brady Tkachuk yelling on the bench. I mean, who wants it? I mean, he's a great emotional leader, and this is great for Ottawa fans, and it's great for that team to get a big win like this. I do, however, like the Detroit Red Wings to bounce back in this one. I mean, I thought when I saw this at the beginning of the week, knowing that they were going back-to-back, I thought that would be very difficult for either team to sweep the way that they've been playing together. I'm going to stick with that. I'll take Detroit on the road, and as I say, when I put this in late last night, they were at minus 103, but it's even a better number right now at plus money and plus 108. And then there are the Florida Panthers. Panthers have brutal injuries right now. They're struggling. They lost at home to Buffalo. The Fire Maurice chants were happening in the background of the post-game show. and they're going into Tampa tonight to take on the Lightning with their newest acquisition, Tanner Jeannot, with 7 defensemen and 11 forwards. Bobrovsky's in net. Spencer Knight obviously is out with the NHL Player Assistance Program. To me, this is all Tampa. And let's not forget that in their last meeting, coming out of the break, Florida absolutely stomped Tampa, and you know that they'll be remembering that from that big cross-state rivalry. This was minus 167. It's now minus 177, so a bit of a shorter number on the Tampa Bay Lightning, like both of those teams in regulation. And then maybe this is a little bit of a Jets hope pick. But what can you say about the Boston Bruins? The Bruins, I watched that game last night. They are so good, so relentless.
That's the thing. I thought they were so hard on pucks, buddy. Like, I'm watching that game, and the Oilers didn't play poorly, and the Bruins didn't, like, blow me away, and I know that wasn't their A game, but they are hard on pucks, man. They win a lot of battles.
And that's the difference, honestly, at this time of year between the good teams and the mediocre teams. Winning those one-on-one battles, doing the right things more often than not turning the puck over and making the most of your chances and opportunities. And it's what we saw last night. By the way, shout out to the lock shoppers for that McDavid 50, cashing even earlier than I think a lot of people expected earlier this year. So, I mean, Boston is playing on the second end of back-to-back nights. I expect Calgary to be a very, very desperate team. I mean, we know the situation that the Flames are in right now. But, man, they're running into a buzzsaw. So we'll throw Boston on the card as well. Parlay of plus 484 on that. I actually do have another pick that I really do like, and it is a total, and it's in that Buffalo-Columbus game. The under 7 goals, minus 122. And I've actually put those 3 picks along with the under in a parlay that's pushing 10-1. Now, the 2 games I like the most tonight are Detroit and Tampa. And Jake hit me up from Coolbet asking if I wanted to do a Jets exclusive for the game tonight. I responded, hell no. I've seemingly been mushing them over the last little while. And to be honest, then you heard this before in our years of doing the lock shop. The Jets are on the suspended list right now for yours truly. So there will be no Jets exclusive. However, I did mix up some of these picks into a bit of an exclusive right now. And if you get over to Coolbet, we're taking the Red Wings to win, the Lightning to win. So those 2 picks that I just mentioned, and under 7.5 goals in the Sabres
I see it.
game. And we've got that one topped up to plus 385. So if you like Detroit and Tampa and you're feeling this under, I know the Sabres don't have many, but the number's just so high, and I could see it being a bit of a kind of a market correction, if you will, for all these high-scoring games that they've had lately. Under 7.5 in Jackets Sabres, Tampa Bay and Detroit, plus 385 in the exclusives right now. So the Jets are getting a night off from being touched in the lock shop from yours truly, but we do have some single plays, a couple parlays, and one up in the exclusive that I'm already on. And I really like that one. I mean, I'm feeling Detroit. I really am confident in Tampa to get this one done. And I don't know, once you're getting up to 7.5, I think this is a perfect spot to finally jump on an under for Buffalo.
I'm just looking in the YouTube chat here, and I'll just lay these picks out for you again. The 6 picks we have on the screen right now: Kings, Jets, under 6.5, minus 136. Islanders, Minnesota, under 6.5, minus 213. Buffalo in regulation, minus 122. Detroit, minus 103. I think UChess says that number has been moved up, actually, plus 106 right now. Tampa, minus 167. Boston, minus 117. You put all 6 of those together, if you want to roll the dice on a 6-gamer tonight, plus 2605. From the big uke in the YouTube chat. So, yeah, that'd be a nice hit, buddy. I think you're muted. I think you muted on your sprinkle.
That might be nice for a little sprinkle there.
It was a nice silent sprinkle. I appreciate the silent sprinkle. That was
Lock
good.
Shop 6-pack today.
Yeah. So tomorrow, Pat will join a big golf episode tomorrow. I mean, if there's anything we like in the NHL and stuff, we'll certainly throw those out as well. Myself being a foremost leader in XFL betting, I'll try to get things ready for you on Thursday. So that'll be good as well. You know what else I can hit on Thursday? Friday, we're not going to have an episode. It's trade deadline day. Huss is super busy. I'm on the air till like noon. So no show Friday, but I'll probably have some F1 stuff for you on Thursday as well, as another season of Formula One gets rolling, which I'm excited for.
And you know what? And I mean, we're doing an extended part of the reason why we're not going to do our regular lock shop is Dusty's going to be doing a couple extra hours on 1260. We're going to be starting early, but still hoping to have Dusty jump on in the final hour of Winnipeg Sports Talk. We'll kind of talk a little bit about what's happened in the trade market, as well as set up that Jets Oilers game.
Yeah.
So I think I'll time it perfectly to have you come on, and then we'll get to the cool bet lines there. So it'll be a little bit of a late lock shop flavor on Winnipeg Sports Talk, and who knows, maybe even stick around for the marble race to finish off the festivities on Friday, Dusty.
A marble race. I like that. That sounds real nice. We'll talk to you on the links tomorrow, Huss. Have a good day, buddy.
You got to take care, folks.